Sorry, he doesn't like you. What? Oh, shit, not again. Jody runs over towards Neal at the same pace of a muscular dystrophy child. Blah. She begins screaming in some sort of high-pitched tone that almost like her own raptard roar, but nowhere near the magnitude of Neal's. Neal takes this as a challenge and unleashes the most mind-deafening raptard screech I have ever heard yet. Jody is cut off mid-scream. The power of Neal's is just overwhelming. The tards go batshit instantly. It was as if World War Tard just hit the Tard HQ. Miss Springer is a little better at handling the situation, but she's nowhere near capable of handling this. This time, she has a common sense to get under the desk before a stapler in her head have a collision that rivals the power of Hades' earthquakes. I try to calm Neal down, but it's futile. The Tard Wranglers finally arrive before the Tards reach full-on Hulk mode and are able to restrain them. Neal stops his screech, seeing that the situation no longer requires it as Jody is subdued. The Wrangler picks him up to carry him out of Tard HQ yet again. I wave at Neal as he is carried out the door, peaceful as he is every single time it happens. Bye, Pill! Jody smelt like fucking shit if I didn't get that across enough in the story. Continued, Chronicles of Neal. Be in 8th grade now. Whoa, is there echo? I don't know, that might be me. Be in 3rd marking period now. Neal and I have just been chilling for quite some time in that class. Nothing terrible has happened in a while. I start to think I would never see the wrath of Neal again. Well, think again. So Neal had recently got his first cell phone. His parents bought it for him so they could keep tabs on him better and whatnot. Neal loved the new phone and texted me frequently. As far as I know, I'm the only one he texted. So while we were sitting in class one day that the teacher actually attempted to teach the Tard something, Neal sent me a text saying hi. Miss Springer saw him send this message, unfortunately, and she made the very terrible mistake of taking Neal's shitty cell phone. Neal didn't take to this too kindly. In fact, he took it terribly. As soon as she took it out of his hands, he let out a raptard screech so fearsome it made Mrs. Springer drop his phone. At this point, Neal thought she had broke his phone, and went in full-on rage mode. I'd made no attempts to calm him down because, well, she had brought this upon herself. The Tards ran rampant. As it is, if Neal was Lion Tard, and he was leading an army of Tards against Mrs. Springer, all he needed was blue face paint. The Tards commenced their attack on anything within their reach. The very same Tard as the previous times was in reach of the stapler, and this time Mrs. Springer was not smart enough to hide under her desk. Tard grabbed the stapler and hurled it with all of his might, and when it connected with Miss Springer, it was like Chernobyl, just happened in her head. And she went down for the count. 1, 2, why even bother? She was fucking out. Now it appeared as if someone had suffered extreme head trauma. I might as well help a little. Turns out that Neal's phone was fine, the battery just fell out. I just put it back in and handed it to him, and he returned to his realm of not giving a fuck about the damage he had caused. Turns out Neal was leaving early for that day, so he bailed before the Tard Wranglers even got there to clean up the mess. Neal just walks out the door looking at his phone and simultaneously waving to me from behind him. Bye, Pill! See ya, Neal. Don't fuck with Neal's shit. Clash of the Tards. Be in 8th grade. Be in 4th marking period now. It has been far from smooth for Neal lately. As I said before, he destroyed some bitch recently and wasn't sparing a single fuck to give about it. Because of this, Tard Wranglers have been paying close attention to Neal, trying to prevent him from getting into any more trouble. Lol, nice try. During the period that I helped the Tards out, there was a major Tard emergency at the other side of the school. It required all the Tard Wranglers, so Neal was left alone for the time being. As soon as the Tard Wrangler is out, somebody is walking over to us. It's James, the dickhead, no doubt approaching to start shit with Neal. Neal is playing the Pac-Man free trial on his phone and could not give a shit about anything else going on. James is now standing directly in front of us. Hey, Pill, why you's always with Neal? James, just please leave. Go read or something. But I want to see what Neal is doing. What you doing, Neal? Neal is completely focused on the Pac-Man game and nothing else. James grows angry that Neal won't let him see what he's playing. James grabs the phone from Neal's mid-game. As James looks at the phone, all you hear is the womp, womp, womp of Pac-Man dying. Bad idea, James. Bad idea. Neal emits the raptard screech as he stares at James in the fury of 1,000 burning midgets. James is now able to resist the screech at an extent, but is futile nonetheless. His future is set the second he touched Neal's phone. Neal approaches James with a very blatant, cruel intentions. When Neal was within striking range, he begins to cock back his leg back as far as possible. Tard Wrangler is now turning the handle of the door. Too late now. James' manhood is about to be decimated. Neal unleashes the most powerful kick ever performed by man. When it collided with James' nuts, it is as if there was a disturbance in the force. James drops, and for the second time now, he was throwing up due to Neal's intentions of making sure his family line ends with him. The Tard Wrangler restrains Neal as fast as possible, although it wasn't needed. Neal had stopped his screech now and was back to his oh-so-blissful state. As he was being yanked out the doorway, he waved over to me. Bye, Pill. Got a text 15 minutes later. Hi, Pill. People need to learn not to fuck with Neal's shit. Continue. Neal versus Barb the bitch. Be in 8th grade still. Be in the final few months of school while summer starts. Kinda sad that I'm not gonna see Neal for a while again. Talking to Tard HQ with Neal is in between periods. Neal wasn't paying very much attention as usual. He was just talking and looking down at his feet as if he was mystified by their ability to allow them to walk. I see Barb the bitch walking down the hallway in the corner of my eyes. Barb got this nickname because, well, she's a huge bitch, even to Tards. Since Neal wasn't paying attention, he walks directly into Barb and knocks her onto the ground. He quickly says sorry and motions to help her up. The bitch smacks his hand away and starts to yell, "Why don't you watch where you're going?" Neal takes this as an imminent threat, releases his short burst roar, his only warning that he's about to slap someone's shit. Barb continues to yell, "Why are you making that sound, needle dick?" I begin to grow angry with her. Barb, what the hell is your problem? Neal just puts his arm in front of me, like he's telling me, he's got this. Neal dives for her legs and she topples over. She struggles, but Neal has engaged raptard strength. Resistance is futile. She gets in full mount position on top of her and positions his head directly over hers. The roar has stopped. All that can be heard throughout the hall is the sound of phlegm being drawn up someone's throat. It's Neal. He slowly lets the nastiest loogie I have ever seen drip out of his mouth and directly onto her forehead. It seeped onto her forehead, then down the sides of her neck. Barb proceeds to cry and gag so hard she was choking. Neal sees this as a sign he has won and releases her from his Tard strength grapple. He says, "Come, Pill," motioning over towards Tard HQ. It was as if he erased the memory from his head entirely, and it was glorious. Neal breaks in the new Wrangler. Be in 8th grade, be about halfway through the year. As I said before, Neal is a lightning raptard. He is fast as hell. Well, he put this particular asset to good use against his new Wrangler. While at once one day, the new Wrangler wasn't paying much attention. Greatly underestimated the power of Neal. While the dumb fuck was flirting with one of the substitute teachers, Neal slept the fuck out to go somewhere. Tard Wrangler finally notices and asks me what happened to him. I don't know, it's your job to keep track of him. He runs off down the hall. I follow, out of curiosity. We go to the main walkway. Neal is nowhere to be found, but his pants are on top of the trash can. We hear a scream come from the building we are just in. Turns out Neal is scared of some of the girls walking down the hall. Neal has now been running for a good 15 minutes straight at full speed. This would be hard for anyone to maintain. Neal is found by the two of us. The Tard guard grabs him by the wrist and pulls him toward the bathroom to put his pants back on. Neal mumbles, "I don't feel so good." Neal engages Tard Food Grip on Tard Guard's wrists. It is a well-known fact that Tard Food Grip is unbreakable. The Wrangler tries to free his wrist with no avail. Neal proceeds to throw up the day's lunch he has had. Pizza, fries, and juice, all over the Wrangler's pants and shoes. He sighs in disgust and tosses Neal into the bathroom. Neal begins his Tard screech due to the excessive force used on him. Thankful there were no Tards nearby to rage. To help calm Neal down, and he tells the principal that the Wrangler hurt him. Wranglers ultimately fired a week later, all because he's a dumb fuck. Neal versus Tard Wrangler Part 2. Be in 8th grade still. Be almost at the end of the year. Only a month or so left. School has tried to try tard integration again.